Welcome to, I don't know, this is probably the third tech video I've made. Big machine behind me, Mac Pro. I've wanted one for a while. I finally got my hands on one and I'm excited. So, some of you might be asking, well, Samuel, you don't really like Apple products. You don't really use them. You haven't done a lot with them in a while besides that previous video. I don't know. I just like to play around with hardware that I've never been able to get my hands on. So this Mac Pro is a 2006 Mac Pro model 1,1, and it's the very first Mac Pro. It's based on the G5 chassis, and this was the first high-performance Mac to come out from Apple after they made the Intel transition. It's pretty old by today's standards. I mean, 14 years old in 2020. That's quite an old machine. But I think I can breathe some life into it. I think we can repurpose it in a way that's fun, because you can pick these up for relatively cheap, and I have Intel Xeon processors, so those are server grade processors, and I think we can do something cool with it. So to start off with this machine, I found it on Craigslist. I look through Craigslist quite often for Macs and PCs and kind of anything I can get my hands on, rebuild, and sometimes I'll just rebuild it and sell it so it's up to speed for the next owner or something. I just have fun playing with a lot of different hardware. But I used to see these things in plenty of magazines a long time ago when I was really into Apple products, and I've always kind of wanted a Mac Pro. So I found one. It's about 20-30 minute drive away. So I went down and picked it up. The owner was super cool. He actually had a 30-inch Apple Cinema display that he was trying to sell me, and I'm kind of bummed I didn't really take it. I mean, I can still go buy it as of right now, whatever today's date is. It's still on Craigslist, but I can't really make it work as well with all my kind of modern hardware, so I don't think it's quite worth it for me. But it's a nice looking display, and he was trying to sell both of them. And a little background info on this machine: it was running Windows 10 previously, Windows 10 Pro, and he had a few drives in it with the drive trays and everything. Right now it just has an SSD and whatever the latest Mac OS support is for it. I think it's Lion 10.7.5, so nothing fancy. That's pretty old by today's standards. But I think we can breathe some new life into this machine and kind of play around with it a little bit. There is potential, but also it's a bit of a project because there are some limitations with this machine. So I'm kind of excited to dig in and really show you guys how I perceive some of these things in hardware when I get it, like kind of showing my thought process, like more raw video of just me, sitting down and trying to figure things out, instead of just cutting, oh, here's the completed product. I'll kind of show you more of the process and everything. So I'm really excited. There are upgrades we can do to it. I wasn't really expecting it. I saw the ad. It came with 32 gigs of RAM, that's DDR2 in here, and that was kind of nice because I didn't have to go and buy that. What else? It has the dual core Xeons. I think they're 5150s or something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head. So it's got two of those, so it's basically a quad core machine. It's got the stock ATI Radeon 1900 XT, I think, and the owner actually, he threw in something. Let me pick it up here. The owner actually provided me with this 5870 that we can also throw in here and try that eventually. So he told me the only thing that needed to be done with it is it needs to be flashed to be compatible with Mac EFI. Basically what that means, as far as I understand it, is the boot screen on typical Macs where you see the Apple logo and the loading bar. That won't show up, or if you hold Option to select multiple boot options, that won't show up either with this graphics card. So that needs to be reflashed because I like everything to work properly. So I think we'll do that. But this is kind of like the intro episode. I had it running today. I bought it about a month ago. I think just over a month ago. And I haven't started it yet because I've been trying to figure out what I want to do with it. I only started up just today to get the monitor recording system set up with it so you guys can see the screen and see kind of, what I'm seeing at the same time, and maybe even, I don't know, follow along with all this new stuff because this is completely new to me. I've never used a Mac Pro. I only quickly went through a couple like system like info things when I picked it up and bought it. Yeah, so I'm super excited for this. I've always wanted one, and I got my hands on a first gen Mac Pro, and there are plenty of other generations you can go to of this version of the classic Mac Pro as it's known. But I think we can breathe a little life into it, so that's why I got it. Let me know in the comments down below what you want me to do with it, kind of upgrades wise. I have some ideas, and next episode I'll kind of reveal what stuff I want to order or ordered for it and whatnot, like what I think are the best upgrades to do. But for now, let's go ahead and boot this thing up and see what's on here, because I really don't know. We're now sitting at the Mac, and I got my little monitor here ready to record. Let's go ahead and fire it up. Makes noises. Should be a boot charm about now, I would think. There we go. Finally. And I cannot record anything yet. But there it is, it's loading. Oh, the fans have come on again. I don't know anything about these computers. I've never actually used one. Okay. Password. Do I remember it? Actually, we'll just get away with this. Password 60. Okay, so 0000000, I assume. Hey. All right, we're in. This monitor has a bit of an overscan issue, but I assure you it's just fine. Okay. Wow. I have not seen the Lion desktop in a long time. I remember this way back in 2011, 2012, when we had a MacBook Pro here in the house, and this is familiar from those days. I think that was the first update to introduce FaceTime on the Mac. Let's take a look here about this Mac. Startup disk is named 1. Okay, there it is. The two 3 GHz dual-core Xeons and 32 gigs of DDR2 over here. Just more specs. X1900 XT. Okay. Stored. Oh, screen works over here. I think it might be my HDMI connections here. Looks like we have our 128 gig SSD in here, so maybe it wasn't 240 gig. Okay, and the Time Machine backup. That I don't know what to expect. Memory, 4 gigs of slot, nothing fancy. Let's close that, and let's have a look in the Finder here. So anything on my disk specifically. So it looks like the previous owner clean installed this. Google Chrome and VLC. Looks like he was going to install those. Microsoft user data. Oh yeah, there is Office on here. Okay. GarageBand. Keynote, iWeb. That's some old stuff. Pages. Wow. This makes me happy because I used to see this stuff a long time ago. I had an eMac. I don't know. Something special about Macs, and especially the old Macs. So looks like Office 2011 over here. Nice. Okay. Let's have a look at the Time Machine. Alright, so there's something here. Okay, I like this. What's this? Some sort of movie. Okay. 128 gig USB drivers. Oh, this looks like boot camp stuff. Okay. So this is clear what happened here. This is when he ran boot camp, which means there are drivers here that are ancient. Probably. Okay, so there's boot camp. The database for Time Machine backups, I guess. Mac software. Oh boy. This man must have been a pirate. Looks like the person I bought it from was pirating software. That's not cool. These are serial numbers for trial of CS5 and Lightroom 3. Okay. Activation blocker file. Yep, okay, this guy was definitely torrenting things on this machine. Oh, another serial number. Okay. Final Cut Express 4 retail. Okay, clearly this was ripped. iLife install DVD DMG. I don't know where it came from. And Office volume licensed. Mac OS or Mac Software OS 10.6. Okay, so clearly a installed DMG was torrented again. All Macworld. Oh, no, I don't want to open that. Cancel. 10.7.2. Another Lion torrent. Boot Camp 5. Okay. Snow Leopard. The torrent here for it. Alright. And the 10.7.5 update. Anything in the private folder? That's just temp. Okay, I think we figured out what we're dealing with here. Well, the machine's gonna get wiped anyway. Doesn't really matter, but clearly this guy was a torrenter and didn't have the discs or software available, so he just straight up grabbed it off the internet. I don't even want to open whatever this movie file is. I'm not really interested in it. We don't care about any of that. I will back up these files in case any of them happen to be important, but I'm not going to use them. I have my own copies of Adobe and stuff, and Word if I need it. But that's really cool. That's all we have here. Let's visit system information pretty quickly. Man, the age of Mac OS really shows. So here you are, Mac Pro 1,1. All right, 32 gigs of RAM, the bus speed 1.33 gigahertz, the boot ROM version, SMC version. That's gonna all be the latest because it's updated to the last supported version here. ATA, nothing special. PCI cards, just the Radeon in there. No Thunderbolts. Serial ATA. So our drives. Looks like we have a Kingston drive in here. I haven't really pulled anything out. I haven't really looked in the machine, but a Kingston 128 gig SSD and a Samsung 1 terabyte hard drive. So cool. This is the Mac Pro then. Yeah, this is a trip down memory lane a little bit, but I'm looking forward to building it up and seeing where it takes us. So let me know in the comments down below what you would like to see with it. I don't want to do anything too crazy, and my plan is already on a budget. Because I don't see throwing a ton of money into a really old machine necessarily worth it. But I think if you throw a little bit of money in with the right upgrades, that you could actually make this fairly usable, not necessarily in Mac OS, but in Windows 10 or even Windows 7 if you can activate it now, because it is 2020 and they've discontinued support, I think, back in January for Windows 7. But it's a cool machine regardless. I'm excited to play with it, and I hope you guys are too. We're going to refurb it a little bit. The plan is to take kind of most of it apart, clean it all out of dust and crap, and then put it back together with some upgrades. So stay tuned for that. Let me know in the comments down below what you would like to see me do with the Mac Pro. I'm just super excited. This is my first Mac Pro, and I'm sure many people haven't really owned it because they never needed the professional power. It was very expensive when it came out, and now I just picked it up for 150 bucks because it is 14 years old, but I think we can squeeze just a little bit more out of it and see where that takes us. So I keep looking back at it because I just want to play with it. But thank you guys so much for watching. This is part 1, and stay tuned for more parts. Not gonna lie, I'm very excited to build this machine. I've wanted one for so long. It's finally here. I'm ready to do it. I just keep looking at it. I just want to keep playing with it. I don't know. There's something about this case and this tower. Apple did cool things for a while, and I don't know. We're missing some of that today. All right, enough of that.